So, yeah, I showed up 15 minutes early to the bus, but apparently 15 minutes early is late to the
you
bus
gotta be
in
25
Seattle.
minutes early, I
You're
guess.
right. I should have just lived outside. I should have just camped out and waited for the bus. So, yeah, I'm kind of freaking out, and I need to get there on time. So I call an Uber, and luckily I get one like right away. And right away I see my Uber driver has like 4.98 stars. So I'm like, oh, she's probably a good driver. And then when I got in the car, the first thing obviously is, oh, how's your day going? Oh, good. How about you? Blah, blah, blah. And then it was kind of silent for like 5 seconds. And usually that's it. Usually after that little first exchange, it's just silent the whole time, which I kind of appreciate. Like usually, especially if I'm kind of nervous for a job interview, I don't want to be having this like dumb conversation like, oh, the weather's nice,
Yeah.
Like I kind of just want to sit and like be in my little zone.
It's funny because it depends on your personality, but I'm with you on that. But it other people would hate stuff like that. Like my sister has said that she
Can't sit in silence.
She cannot sit in silence for more than like 10 seconds. So even if she's nervous or freaking out or whatever, she needs to be like having some form of conversation with this guy.
I always value silence. Like I don't know, there's something good about silence and just kind of sitting and being in your own space.
Yeah, and like if I was an Uber driver, I truly would not care. If you want to talk to me, we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to say a single goddamn word the whole 30-minute ride, that's cool
fine.
too.
Yeah. Anyway, so this lady, after we give our little first, hey, how's it going? Oh, good. How about you? It's like a 5-second pause. And then she goes, okay, well, now that we said that, how are you really doing?
Oh.
And I was like, whoa.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And I was like, well, to be honest, I'm kind of stressed out right now because I just missed my bus and I have to be downtown for this job interview in like 30 minutes. And I'm kind of stressed out about it. And she goes, well, I think you were put into my car for a reason and I'm going to get you there on time. And like, you're lucky that you're with me right now. And I was like, okay, I like that.
Dude, who is this lady?
Dude, she was amazing.
What was her name?
Oh, shit. Marie or something? I have her card. She gave me her card. I'll get to that later.
Damn.
She was awesome. So then we're just kind of driving and she starts talking about like where or why are you interviewing for a job and blah, blah, blah. Like, where are you at in life? And I was explaining like, I'm out of school right now. I'm like not really sure what I want to do. I'm trying to figure it out. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get this job. And I was talking about like, oh, I might want to be a firefighter, but whatever. I was basically just explaining that I was not really going the traditional route.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we were just talking about kind of life like that.
Yeah.
And how it's a lot of people aren't going the traditional route. And it was just like this super authentic conversation.
Yeah.
And then she eventually started talking about how she reads people's like energies. Like she's one of those like energy people.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Like mystical energy or more
Kinda
just like she's just good at reading people.
Yeah, good at reading people. But well, I don't know, because she said something about alchemists or something.
Okay.
I don't know. But then she was also talking about how she's a writer, and this was near the end of the trip. She was talking about, she kind of gave me some of her life story about how she had dated some like homicide guy, and it was like super interesting. And she was telling me some stories.
Homicide guy, like a
detective,
murderer.
like like a detective, homicide detective. I said that really bad.
She dated some homicide guy. I'm thinking like,
no.
Ted Bundy or something.
Well, that would have been an interesting story.
Yeah.
No, she was talking about how she dated a homicide detective, and whatever. And she was just telling me different stories about her life, and we were just sharing some information or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she eventually gets to this part where she's talking about this book that she's writing and how she's writing a book about, she's done over like thousands of Uber drives, and she's writing a book about like different people in her Ubers. And she had like a play on words. It was like Uber, but it was like a play on words of the name. And it was, I forget what it was exactly. But, and she was explaining like.
She's not done yet.
What?
She's not done with the book yet?
I think she's
currently writing it?
I think she's writing it, or she's like finalizing it.
Okay.
And basically I think she just talks about different people that she meets.
Damn.
Because you're just with her for like about 30 minutes, and then you just probably never see her again.
Yeah, and she's done that with like thousands of people probably.
Yeah, and she was telling me about like her current boyfriend and how the way she explained it, she was like I'm a alchemist writer or something like that, which is like a kind of an energy type of person, writer or something. And she said whenever she says that, it was some weird title. She's like, whenever I say that title to people, no one has any idea what that means. And so this random guy in a Starbucks comes up to her and asks her what she's doing. And she's like, oh, I'm this weird type of writer. And he goes, me too. And then she was like, wow, it's like the universe aligning. And I feel like you were stressed out for this interview and you're being brought into this situation, into me with this card, and we're having this conversation. Like, it changed my whole like outlook of my day. Like my day started off so shitty, just trying to be stressed out for my job interview, and then like that lady made my whole day.
Wow.
And I told her that, and she gave me her card, and she was telling me, like, I haven't like looked at her information or anything, but she was talking about like she does like podcasts or whatever about like energy and kind of shit like that.
Damn.
So
You tell her about Peak to Middle School?
I didn't know. I should have.
We got to get her on the show,
yeah,
dude.
I don't think, she's probably like 40s, 50s year old woman.
Dude,
probably
but
not
we need that energy on the show.
Right. She gave off some great vibes.
I feel like she could be good on the show.
She like, gave me a pep talk.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's
so
really
shout out
cool.
to that lady. I'll look at her information later and find her, but